Welcome back, everybody. 25 minutes past the hour, and here's a look at the top stories that we're following for you right now. Starting in New York City, 4 people are dead after a gunman entered their office building and just started shooting. That building has multiple tenants, including the NFL, and the NFL told staffers in a memo that one of its employees was injured and taken to the hospital. And here you see the suspect's car being towed overnight. Police say they found another gun, more ammo inside that vehicle. Officials say the gunman eventually died by suicide within the building. A motive does remain unclear at this hour. President Trump is getting ready to fly back to the United States today. He is wrapping up his trip to Scotland by opening up a new golf course bearing his name. Over the past few days, the president also met with European and British leaders to talk trade, agreeing to a deal with the European Union that will avoid a huge tariff spike on most EU goods this week. And as President Trump reportedly mulls a pardon for Jeffrey Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, her legal team is taking her case all the way up to the Supreme Court. Maxwell's lawyers are pushing the high court to void her convictions and free her from prison. NewsNation's Brooke Shafer is tracking this one extremely closely for us. Brooke, what's the legal argument here? I mean, why would the Supreme Court even entertain this idea?
Well, Markie, good morning. Ghislaine Maxwell's attorneys are calling her a scapegoat for Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. And in their final brief here, they are asking the Supreme Court to step in, arguing that Maxwell's conviction violates a plea deal signed by Epstein nearly 2 decades ago. This deal, it let Epstein avoid federal charges for sex crimes and granted immunity to any potential co-conspirators. Now, because of that, Maxwell's attorneys insist she should never have been convicted and sentenced to 20 years for helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls. In this plea to the Supreme Court, her legal team says this case is about what the government promised, not what Epstein did. In a post on X, Maxwell's attorney says, "Our government made a deal and it must honor it." The DOJ, though, they've opposed this. They don't think the Supreme Court can hear this appeal, and they argue there's no way federal prosecutors who cut the deal with Epstein had the authority to bind other prosecutors. Maxwell's attorneys, though, they're not just appealing to the Supreme Court. They're also appealing directly to President Trump, who so far has said he has not thought about a possible pardon for Epstein's longtime girlfriend. Markie?
And Brooke, President Trump now says he declined Epstein's invitation to his private island. What else is the president saying?
Yeah, President Trump, while in Scotland, said he turned down a visit to Epstein's island years ago, while also telling reporters why he ended his friendship with the man later charged with sex trafficking.
But for years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein. I wouldn't talk because he did something that was inappropriate. He stole people that worked for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again, and I threw him out of the place. I never had the privilege of going to his island, and I did turn it down, but a lot of people in Palm Beach were invited to his island. In one of my very good moments, I turned it down. I didn't want to go to his island.
The president's explanation comes as the Trump administration faces continued backlash and questions over its recent refusal to release more records in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Vice President J.D. Vance on Monday said the president wants full transparency, but that process takes time. Markie?
Yeah, he said Epstein became a persona non grata for him. Brooke Shafer, thank you. Let me now bring in.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.